Hi everyone. Last week we learned how to spoof MAC addresses. Now we're going to move up a layer to the network layer and spoof IP addresses. So by doing this, we make sure that we basically can't be traced on a network. We can hide in plain sight. The first thing that we want to do is set up a NAT network. So we're going to go to File, Tools, Network Manager, to the NAT Networks tab, and then Create. What I did is I called mine Cybersecurity, so I knew which one I was using, and I changed the network from the default to 192.168.1.0. That's the IPv4 prefix, meaning that defines the network. We want to leave DHCP on with this one so that we end up with addresses for our Linux and our standalone Windows 11 computer. So we go ahead and apply. That sets up our NAT network. It's like plugging these two computers into a physical firewall and providing them an isolated network. That makes it easier for us to capture packets and see what's going on. All right, so now the next step is to turn on our, the next step is to go to each virtual machine and change the network settings to NAT network and cybersecurity. And then we do the same thing with our Windows computer, so they're both connected to the same network. And NAT network and cybersecurity. We click OK. All right. So in the Windows 11, let me get that out of the way. Let's make this fit my screen a little. Well, I guess we don't need to. If we do ipconfig, we'll discover that we have an address on the network we just set up. And the address is 192.168.1.5. That is our Windows address. And this is the guy that we're going to spoof. Now to spoof this guy, we have to disable our firewall. I know you're not going to be able to call somebody up and say, oh, by the way, I'm hacking your computer. Could you disable your firewall? No. This is what I call a proof of concept, meaning this is how it works, but we can't do every single piece. So we go to Start, and we type in Windows. There it is, Windows Defender Firewall. That's the guy that we want. And we're going to go over here where it says Turn Windows Defender Firewall Off. And then we check all the Turn the Windows Defender Firewall Off. It's not recommended, but we're doing it for this lab so we can see the traffic going back and forth. All right, so now we know the IP address. Our firewall is turned off. Let's send some normal IP packets from Kali Linux, and let's bring Kali Linux over here to, let's send some normal packets from our Kali Linux to our Windows machine. So we're going to use the hping command. We're going to type in sudo first because most network operations in Linux require administrative access. -1 just means we're going to send regular, I keep leaving off the P, regular ordinary ICMP, which is the protocol for ping. It's a troubleshooting protocol to find out if there's something wrong. And then we put in our Windows network. .168.1.5 is the IP address of our Windows computer. So we press enter, and I typed in IP HPIN. What did I do wrong there? Sudo HPING. Oh, I have HPINPG. There we go. And that will ping, and that's a normal ping. Let's take a look at it with Wireshark, because we can capture packets and see what's going on the network. So up here in the corner, we have our Kali Linux menu. If you type in wire, that will let us bring up Wireshark. And up in the upper left, we have the shark fin. On a virtual machine, we will always use ETH0. Virtual machines only have an Ethernet adapter. So we click that guy to start. We're capturing packets. Look at there. There's an ICM packet going for, I guess I should stop this because it's going by pretty fast. So here's our Linux machine sending an ICMP packet to 1.5. Here is the Windows machine sending a response packet back. And that's how ICMP should work, which is also the same as Ping. I should say Ping is the application layer program that uses the ICMP protocol to test the network and see if everything's working. Well, that's normal ping packets. Now, we're going to spoof ping packets. So we go back to here, Control-C, breaks. I'm going to clear my screen, bring this up a little bit, make it a little shorter because I can't see the bottom. There we go. So we can use our previous command by cursoring back. We are going to change this to S, which means we're going to spoof. And then -A is our alias, or I guess it means we're spoofing the Windows computer, and it's going to look like it's pinging itself. So you can't find out who we are by our IP address. Now when you press enter, it's just saying that, okay, well, we're pinging from here to here, and we don't see anything happening. Well, that's normal. You're not going to see anything happening with this particular command. But if we go to Wireshark and start the Wireshark capture, I'm going to continue without saving, we'll have very shortly, there we go, look at that. We're pinging from and to using the same IP address. So if the Windows computer was capturing packets trying to determine what's going on the network, or anybody else is capturing packets, it doesn't appear that that packet is coming from our Linux computer. However, if we look down in Ethernet 2, which is where our MAC addresses live, and we open that up, let me make this a little bigger, we can see that, let's see, our source and our destination have two different MAC addresses. So that's FDCC, this is C79C. But we learned last week how to spoof MAC addresses. So we could spoof our source MAC address to anything we want. We can spoof our source IP address to anything we want. So if someone's monitoring the network, they'd have no idea that we were there. Well, spoofing. We'll see you later.